community of awesome, I'm Ava J and this is Bookish Pixie. So as I think I've mentioned here before, I was really young when I decided I wanted to be a published author. Like pre-high school, 8th grade young. And when I decided that that was my life goal, I dove right into it. It was a 100,000 word YA fantasy, even though I hadn't really read YA except for Eragon and Harry Potter, but we'll get into that. What I'm leading up to is I made a lot of mistakes as a young writer, which is understandable because I was totally new to the whole thing, but I want to share with you some of my mistakes so that you can hopefully avoid them. So here we go. First, I set a time limit to reaching my goal. Because I was a just turned teenager teen, I decided that I wanted to be published as a teen. The title in my mind was Best-Selling Teen Author, and that didn't exactly happen. I did not get my book deal as a teen. I didn't even get my agent as a teen. And yet by the time I graduated high school, I had written 5 books. But I had put so much pressure on myself to get published by a certain age. And so it became harder and harder for me as I got older and started realizing that the teen author thing wasn't going to happen for me. And honestly, it just made it so much more difficult for myself than I needed to. It was really hard for me to let go of the expectation of getting published as a teen. But as I've said before, it takes time to hone your writing skill, and it takes some people longer than others, and that's okay. I was on the way longer end of that scale, and I don't regret 1 second of it. So don't put the pressure of a time limit on yourself. You'll get there at exactly the right time for you. Second, I didn't choose critique partners. Yeah. I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, especially because I now know how important they are, and I can't even imagine trying to move forward with my writing career without my amazing critique partners. But yeah, I didn't at first. I didn't really know that I wasn't, sort of, because I had family members read it and I thought that was good enough, but it was so not good enough. You need to work with critique partners who are A, not related to you, because people who are related to you are too nice to you, and B, who are writers. I've done an entire vlog already on the importance of critique partners, so I'll link to that below. But basically, don't skip them, seriously. You need critique partners. Learn from my mistakes, you guys. Third, I didn't read my category or genre. Like I said, there were a couple exceptions to this because I had semi-recently read Eragon and Harry Potter, which is middle grade at the beginning, but anyway, that was my knowledge of kidlit and fantasy. At the time that I was writing my first book, I read a ton of Ted Dekker books, and he's still one of my favorite authors, but he does not write in the category and genre that I write in. So I really should have been exposing myself to other voices, and I wasn't. I've also done a vlog on why writers must read, so I'll link to that below. And fourth, when I finished my first draft, I immediately jumped into line editing. Yeah. Your second draft is not the place for line edits at all. When you first start your revisions, you want to be focusing on big picture issues like plot and character and pacing and those kinds of things. But line editing needs to be saved for your later drafts when you're nearly done. Why? Because if you do it early on, you're probably going to have to redo it towards the end again after you've made your bigger changes. And I mean, not only did I jump into line editing, that was the only editing I did. When I first started editing my own work, I thought that editing meant changing commas here and there and making sure things were grammatically correct, and changing words here and there to make it sound prettier and flow a little better, and that was it. But there is so much more to revisions, and I've already done vlogs on editing, so I'll link to those below. So those are the mistakes I made, and I hope that you guys will see this video and not make the same ones. Good luck. So that's all I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.